Today, I'm being joined in the program and someone who will talk to us about the electricity sector, especially as it concerns you and I. All of us use electricity. We're powering this entire place by electricity, but the prices, electricity hike is biting hard, especially those on Band A. And so we're being joined in the program by Mr. Sunday Oduton, Executive Director, Research and Advocacy, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
So let's begin with some basics because you're the spokesperson of the DisCos. So let's begin with some basics. There has been an argument as to how much do Band A pay now in terms of units, because that's how Nigerians understand it. If they vent their machines and all of that, they see an amount and they compare it and do the division based on the amount they pay as against the units. How much per unit for Band A users?
What people need to understand is the way electricity units are calculated. Electricity is calculated per kilowatt hour. So it's 209 naira per kilowatt hour. That's what it is.
Is that what we people call units?
No, the unit is less than that. You use that to when you...
Okay, this is why I say let's start from the basics. Yes. I was very deliberate. So yes. The other day I recharged, I think I'm on Band B also. I just tried with 1,000 naira. And when I saw the number of units, I did the division. If I divide the number of units by the amount I paid, it came to about 67 naira. That's what I mean. I want to speak as a lay person. So that is for Band B, according to what I was told. I'm in Band B. Band A, bring it to the unit price. How much is it? Per unit, as I've explained to you. I don't know whether you understand me.
What I'm saying is, what you pay if Band A to Band B, if you are paying 68 naira, 68 naira per kilowatt hour was the payment for even Band A. What happened was that the subsidy on Band A was removed, so Band A went up as much as 226 naira per kilowatt hour. When the naira appreciated against the dollar, the price dropped to 205 naira per kilowatt hour. When there was another upsurge in the exchange rate between naira and the dollar, it went up a little bit again to where it is now, which is 209 naira per kilowatt hour. I think the other thing we need to understand is that today, the people in Band A pay more than all others. They pay more than all others because they are the one paying the true cost, and I emphasize the word, the true cost of electricity in Nigeria, right? Which is talking about the cost of production, the landing cost of electricity, cost without subsidy. They are the one paying without any government subsidizing them. All others, like yourself in Band B, you are still being subsidized by government for as much as 67%. So what you pay is not what you are supposed to be paying, right? But even the Band A customers who are currently paying the highest in Nigeria, they are the lowest, they pay the lowest tariff in the whole of West Africa.
You see,
and that's very important.
Just hold on, sir. Okay. I will allow you land. You know, when the government or people in charge give that narrative, it almost makes some people squirm on their chair. So exactly what is the crime in government helping you to live better? So, because when we push back and say, this thing is expensive for our people, and then you begin to draw comparison. And when we draw comparison as to fundamentals of how those people have built their society better than ours, everybody pushes back. So does it really make sense that every time we say, what is the crime if Nigerians pay less than every other person? What is wrong?
It makes a lot of sense because I'm not comparing the cost of electricity in Nigeria to that of United Kingdom where I lived for 32 years. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at the backyard here, our neighbors in Ghana, Mali, Burkina Faso, Senegal, right? And when you go there, the first thing, especially you journalists, you go to Ghana, you come back and tell us, see what they are doing in Ghana. You cannot even give us carbon electricity. But you fail to understand the fact that they pay for it. That's why the people who supply it are able to cover their costs. That's why they're able to get enough capital to inject back into the system So the issue is very simple. It is simple, and let me quickly. I would like to quote Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the president of ADB. He said, "No economy can grow in the dark. No economy can industrialize in the dark. And of course, no economy can be competitive in the dark." We all know and we all agree that for any country to industrialize, for there to be progress in the health sector or education sector, we need electricity. And for there to be electricity, we need investment. And the sole purpose of any investment anywhere, including Channel TV, the investor of Channel TV would not have remained in business if Mr. Momo couldn't and can't recover his costs. So cost recovery is central. So when we're talking about that, another thing is that when you now say your government, Nigerian government, should subsidize things, for me as a person, I have no problem with that. If they can afford it, and if they are able to keep up with it. The government of Mr. Jonathan in 2013, and thank God I was in this country, I was part of I was in the sector right from the beginning. When I came back to Nigeria on November 1st, 2013, part of what the government of Mr. Jonathan promised was that they would pay the outstanding subsidy. Okay, so they never did. Okay, not that they didn't want to pay, but they didn't have the money to pay. Nigeria cannot carry this burden.
As journalists, our job is to put the facts on ground.
Yes.
Nobody can come and blackmail the population for the failure of government. Correct. If government, in trying to privatize the sector, failed in doing the right thing, I don't think the people should be blamed. That's why we put people in charge to run the government at the end of the day. So nobody should come and blame the people. The people have said, we want light at the end of the day. Now, there are two problems. There's the one problem of paying high tariff. There's a problem of not even seeing the light. Let me tell you something. I read something from the Osodoke, Mr. Emmanuel Osodoke of ASU. He's been crying out as to what the electricity tariff is doing to university community. And he said before tariff increases, all 274 universities in Nigeria were spending a monthly about 5 billion monthly and 63 billion yearly. As this currently, it has increased now. They pay 21 billion monthly and 257 billion yearly. That is killing. How do we survive?
Okay. Number one, we should not continue to make the mistake that we've been making since 1960. Like this person, all he did was to lump it all together. Take each and every university, treat each case on his own merit, okay? And then we can now discuss the larger issue of how do we fund our universities? How is it that you won't hear complaint from the University of Oxford or Cambridge? How come that we're having all these issues with our institution, issues around funding? Funding or no funding has little or nothing to do with service providers, okay? So it's either you want the service and you get it, or you don't want the service and you don't get it. And when we talk about service-based tariff, we're saying a tariff that is based on the service that you receive. And sentiment and emotion apart, is either we get the required funding that will send the right signal to lenders,
so because of time,
and investors.
So because of time,
we need to be honest with ourselves.
Band A is not being subsidized. So is this giving investors some level of confidence to invest the sector? How far-reaching is that in the first place?
It's just a pathway. It's the beginning, right? It's a pathway to recovery, because at the end of the day, we had a lot of shortfall as far back as 2013. That's what I was saying earlier on, whereby the government were owing so much in unpaid subsidies. And if this government came on board and said, you know what, we can't continue to carry the burden. Only 16% of our customers are in Band A, for God's sake, just 16%.
Are they getting the required number?
They are getting it.
Not true.
And those who are not getting it, I'll give you facts.
Not entirely
Mention
true.
Anywhere in Nigeria, and I'll give you the fact. Now, and I'll give you some examples.
Give me examples.
In Abuja, There's an estate called Sun City Estate.
You know, people are watching and listening to you.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, so yes.
I'm sure there will be reaction.
I'm an Egba man, where I come from, we don't lie.
It's not about any...
It is.
No, this is we're talking about Nigeria.
I'm saying that I will not stand before the world and lie to anybody for anything. No, I'm not here to polish the image of the DisCos.
Band A is supposed to get
now,
20 hours plus, right?
I'll give you an example.
No, let's move
There's
past
an estate called Sun City Estate in Abuja, right? They were in Band A. But at a point when the Abuja DisCo realized that they couldn't push the power to that quantum for them, about 1,000 houses in one estate, they were downgraded a few months ago to Band B. Why? Because the DisCo know that they cannot get them that average of 20 hours in a 30-day period, okay? They were downgraded back to Band B. So we have that. But here in Lagos, along Gorodu Road, somewhere around Odepano, there's an area there where Ikeja Electric has upgraded them from Band B to Band A, even though they are now complaining.
So this upgrade, is it mandatory? Is it voluntary? How do you make the decision? Because, for instance, I guess I'm in Band B, from what I was told. I don't know all these technical things. So if tomorrow I'm told I'm upgraded to Band A, nobody perhaps would have sought how does it work? How do you make that decision?
Okay.
Is it the government or is it DisCos? Who makes that decision?
Okay, the decision is made by the regulator in conjunction with the DisCo concerned. We're a heavily regulated industry. Issues to do with tariff or any of these things is done by a regulator, which the DisCo concerned. The DisCo gives, if the DisCo can say, okay, I can do this, and we're monitored. We're even sometimes punished once we fail to live up to our mandate.
That is where I wanted to come to. The punishment now, as you're answering this other question, I'm rushing because of time, my apologies. The punishment now, when you DisCos fail, because the average Nigerian, what will you do? We're traumatized already. So going through another litigation is just a waste of time sometimes for some people. So who penalizes you and what is the kind of penalty?
Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission.
What kind of penalty?
And how do we consumer get? You need to ask them.
No, you are the one that's
public. No. It's a public corporation owned by the federal government, the regulators. They are there and they have a website. These are very hardworking people and they do their thing.
Let me speak to the
We are fined, heavy fine, millions. And I don't want to mention. There's a particular DisCo now that's paying almost $1 billion in fine.
No, you don't think they deserve to pay $1 billion in fine from what you DisCos
I'm not disputing that. Once you do what you're not supposed to do, or you fail to do what you're supposed to do, you'll be fined. Because we know that we'll be fined, that's why we up our game. Things has improved. I was on this program in 2021. Today, compared with that day, then we are doing better now than that time. And going back to your question, I was trying to answer that question on movement to Band A.
Yeah, please do.
The ideal thing, two things I would say. Every single household in Nigeria ought to be metered. That's number one. Every single household in Nigeria should be on Band A, if you ask me. In other words, Nigeria should be inching towards uninterrupted power supply. We should be aware of the fact that Nigeria needs to have electricity. So if you're on Band B or Band C or Band D, you should not be happy to be on Band D. But if you want to go to Band A, you should be prepared to pay for Band A. If you want to eat bread, you have to pay for the loaf of bread. This thing is called
basic service. And then I'm thinking about the people in the rural area that are barely scraping the surface to get life and get.
Don't bother yourself about that one. We have a special thing for people in the rural area. If you go on the website of our regulators, you'll see people in the rural area are billed differently, right?
They're not in any of these bands?
No, they are in the bands, but the way their tariff is calculated is different. Go on the website of NERC. These are not heartless people. What they do is to try and make things easy and better. And for those 16% who are on Band A.
Is it the entire country, 16%, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Of our customers. Those are people on Band A. So when I even hear the noise, I wonder. So 16% don't want electricity.
Is significant, actually, for a 200 million population. It's still significant. Anything 16% is like tight. It's like commission when you do business. So it's quite significant. It's not.
So 16 out of 100 people are enjoying good electricity. So you don't want us to give it extend to the others.
You know, it is ideal that everybody gets the service.
Let's get it.
But people need to be able to pay for it. Our purchasing power is low. You understand? Now, let's go to the issue of meters now. You talked about it, so let's get there before we wrap up. How much is a meter now? Let's say single phase and all of that.
I don't know that off head, but I can tell you that everybody who have access to the internet can check it. I know that for three-phase meter, it's about 180-something thousand naira now. Again, the movement in the price or the cost of meters is due to the forex problem. And let me again emphasize the fact that meters are not supplied directly by the DisCos. We have external meter manufacturers, third-party meter manufacturers that are accredited by our regulators. And these people too need to have access to loan on a single-digit rate. These people too need to be able to recover their costs.
You see, when it comes to your own business now, you're looking at all the incentives that should come.
No, when I
now push back on behalf of the Nigerian people,
I'm talking about meter manufacturers. No, for us as a people, and can those who jackpot, when you live in sane climate, every month as you collect your salary, the first thing you think about are your bills, utility bills.
Okay.
Pay your bills.
So you
can't enjoy electricity free of charge. It's not a social service.
I understand perfectly. But it should be an affordable, available social service. Your last thought in 30 seconds on this.
Well,
30 seconds.
I want all Nigerians to know that for us to be able to supply you with electricity, we need to be able to make it happen. To make it happen, we need to be able to recover the cost, have the necessary incentive to be able to invest in it with the aim of recovering the cost back. Please pay your bill, and we'll do all our best to serve you better.
Mr. Sunday Oduton, Executive Director, Research Advocacy Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. So we'll make a case for you, for government to give you incentive, single digits, but you also help us and make this electricity affordable. Is that a deal?
That's a deal.
Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.